Hi, guys, and welcome to episode 2 of ABCD. It's your host again, Tejas Srinivas. We've had some very interesting conversations before the start of this episode. We've had some singing practice. We've had some really weird discussions, which I will not be bringing to the start of this episode because it would make this very not child friendly. So we're not going to do that. Today, we won't be talking as much about cricket, sadly, because our co host here doesn't want to do anything about cricket. She hates cricket. It's very disappointing. She's lucky I invited here, despite not knowing anything about cricket. But here we are. So today, we have a really amazing co host, someone that I only got to know recently. And it's pretty lucky I got to know her, actually, because she's been a lot of things. We're gonna unpack that in this episode. So I'd like to welcome Ayushi Bhatt. Woo!
Everyone, thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm glad I qualified to be on this podcast
Yes, you qualified.
despite not knowing anything about cricket. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Okay.
We have a lot of time to learn.
Mhm.
So Ayushi, that's a very common name. We have a lot of Ayushis in our group. It's a very, it's a
It's a name.
it's a name.
You can call me by something at least.
It's a nice. Also, her name is Ayushi Bhatt, and don't be like me. I initially started our friendship by asking if she was related to Alia Bhatt, and it was awkward.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you then, but I am actually her third cousin
Okay, can you introduce me?
to Alia Bhatt,
Yeah.
but she's married.
No, I mean not like that. I might just want to meet her as an admirer, right?
You admire Alia Bhatt?
Yeah.
Sure, someday when she.
Except I don't think I'm looking forward to the Rocky or Rani Prem Kahani, but
About that. That's another discussion.
that is. Would you like to would you like to talk about the famous incident on how we met? Like the famous thing that I said?
Okay. So, this was sort of like after we met. We found out that we were having the same unit. And the first DM, what do you expect? Someone to say, hi, just found out that we're both doing the same unit. But instead, guess what Mr. Srinivas here decides to write? Hi, homie. What's up?
Okay, do people not say homie at all anywhere?
I mean, it's a very early 2000s-ish concept, I
Okay.
think.
Look, I'll explain why I said homie, okay? Because when you meet someone new and you're unsure of what they think of you, you're unsure about where your friendship is going to go or anything like that, you don't know how to address them, right? So, especially if you want to text them, because you don't want to text and say something that's too over the top, and they go like, "Oh, why is this guy so excitable?" I don't know. Or you also don't want to say something
Excitable.
I don't know, like too excited or something. Like if someone texts you for the first time and they're just so like over the top, you're gonna feel.
I mean, glad I continued talking with you after
After
that
that.
first interaction. But Yushi would have been
Efficient.
more suitable to the situation.
Yeah, I basically just. And honestly, the first time we met, I didn't really even talk to her. It was mainly just Sujol.
I think first time you were like, you just look frustrated. You were actually eating something and not enjoying it. I don't know why you just look like you weren't enjoying it.
Yeah, it was Guzman. For people who don't know, it's Mexican food.
Guzman. Yeah.
Had quite a few chats outside.
Guzman, Guzman.
Guzman
That's-
is the Aussified version of Guzman.
Yeah, it is. But like for the simplicity of it, let's just call it GYG.
GYG, yes.
Gyoj.
Yes. So yeah, basically I started off our entire friendship by saying, "Hey, homie," and that is now a very iconic thing. I still don't know what's wrong with homie, but I suppose looking back on it now, I could have just said nothing, and it might have anything better than homie.
I mean, I'm glad you did. Cause okay, for the first time I saw you, cause like the thing was I was, as you said, I was just talking to Sajul. So when I didn't really think you talked much, but the hey homie was like an indication that at least you talk.
Yeah, I was still in my very low social phase. Like before coming to uni, I didn't think I would know anyone other than the people who went to my high school. So when I was branching out, I was like, okay, I don't know how to talk to people that I don't know. So yeah, introverted. And then suddenly we became extroverted. Wow.
We did, and how we became friends and met for the first time is also a story for another time.
Yeah. I don't think it's for another time. It's just not going to be mentioned.
It's not going to be on a public forum.
Yeah. We also met during Holi. That was kind of fun. That's when I realized that Ayushi lives in a different country. She came from India, and then she moved to Australia. And now within Australia, she's in a whole different like universe that we never get to visit.
Yes, me arriving back in Australia is also a story. I don't live in another country, but it feels like I live in another country, even though it's in Melbourne.
Wait, what's the postcode?
It's 3029. But listen. Terrified. I just stayed in Tani in the initial like months of coming back to Australia. I don't live in Tani anymore. I live 2 minutes away from Tani now. It's called Hoppers Crossing. Still 3029.
Literally, for people who, studied here, Hoppers Crossing and that area, Williamstown and all that, those are the places that we used to visit for like excursions. It was like these scenic places that you get to see once in a year. And then Ayushi just lives there. And how is it like? Because initially you were living there, and then you were coming to uni. And then back then we left really late. We used to leave really late. So how was that like massive transit?
Okay, that's like literally one of the most traumatic, the best / traumatic experience that I've had. While I was at uni, okay, that time it was only me and Papa at home. So it wasn't much of an issue leaving late. And I'd honestly like forget like everything when I was hanging out with these guys at uni. And then as soon as, of course, you can again.
Oh. Continue.
But be like, I don't know, like 8 or 9. It doesn't sound like it but like when you have to travel back to a different country, as Tejas mentioned. And also when PTV doesn't function correctly at night times, and you have to take like 5 buses and like 100 trains.
If there was one corporation that I would wish would shut down forever, it's Public Transport Victoria.
That's what gets me here.
I wish there was an easier way. I wish there was a better way, because our transport system is just... Look, I feel like we're lucky in terms of having so many buses and trains and stuff, but it's so bad. Every time I top up my Mikey, I feel like I'm just throwing money into the atmosphere. It's so like I just keep seeing the money just going, and I'm like, what is this for? Just for them to remove dangerous level crossings. You see those ads?
Yes, I have. But also, do you have the concession, Mikey?
But I couldn't be bothered to get it.
That's the thing. When you do have the concession, Mikey, you're literally traveling for like half price. imagine like traveling from like Tanit Harper's Crossing, but I still go from the Tanit station.
We still associate you as Tanit.
Okay,
Ayushi.
fine. But like traveling from there to here, to uni, it just cost me like $4 or 3 or 4, I think, with concession. That's good, isn't it?
Well, it's better than nothing. But I feel like just I don't know. It's just it's just a complete bias and hatred for PTV. I don't know. Nothing.
Metro is bad, but like V Line's good. You travelled in the on the V Line.
Yeah.
How was the experience? Can I?
Yeah,
can I
you were
ask
there. You were there. It was like, whoa. I had never experienced something like this because I'm only used to the horrible metro trains, and it's like it's hell, man. But then when she told me that V Line, in V Line it's like quiet, no one, as far as I know, it's pretty clean. Everyone's like just just respectful, and the trains are faster, and everything's just better. And I was like, yeah, that can't be possible. I'm sure even in V Line, it's horrible. And then we went after a party, and oh my god, I literally fell asleep. That's how amazing it just.
Dude,
It was so peaceful. It was so good.
can I just say like V Lines just remind me of you. Quiet, respectful, nice, sophisticated. That's Tejas Srinivas for everyone out there.
She calls me a good boy.
You are a good boy, a very good boy.
This is a hot topic, man. Every time she says that, I get so mad. Yeah, I'm not a good boy.
I think we should, like anyone who knows Tejas and they're listening to this podcast. Just don't you all agree? He's like one of the nicest, sweetest, most respectful, sophisticated, good boys out there.
Even if that was true, no one wants to be known as a good boy. What if I call you a good girl?
I mean,
What are you gonna say?
it doesn't apply to me.
Why?
Am I a good girl? Just be honest.
Yeah.
We have Sajul staring at me for some reason.
No, I'll tell you why. There's always these moments that happen when I think that. And it's usually when we're buying food. All right? I'll explain. There have been so many times. Look, ever since I became lactose intolerant, yes.
Oh, that's one thing we
share.
We share.
We are
in
lactose
common.
intolerant twins.
We are vegans. Vegans.
Yeah, ever since I became lactose intolerant, I'm technically vegan, right? Because I can't have cheese or milk unless I have the pills. And Ayushi is also like that. She's technically vegan, but she says she's vegan, all right? I don't want to associate with the vegans. But I'll tell you what happens. Especially in the early days, like when I was getting GYG, I needed to have a vegan bowl, right? Like the vegan thing.
Of course you do.
And I didn't want to say it because I don't want to associate with the vegans.
Why do you not? Why are you making it sound like I don't know, some...
No, I don't know. It's because whenever I think of vegans, I think of the vegan teacher. You know who that is, right?
I have no clue who the vegan teacher
is. It's that old lady on TikTok who goes like, eat your veggies.
Oh, her. Like, eat your vegetables.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
One. That's when I know it's bad. Not all vegans are like that, but that's who I think of.
Why is it always like old ladies?
It's always old ladies. Exactly, which is why I don't want to be like this guy going like, yeah, I'm vegan. What's up? So I used to ask Ayushi to order for me because he had no problem with saying vegan bowls and all that stuff. And the other time as well, when we went to the city to eat khana and we went to, what was it, Paradise Road or Chile, India?
Chile, India. Oh, it was Chile, India. Yeah. But I think, about that. Okay. We're digressing a lot, but this is a very fun story everyone should know. Yes. It wasn't Chile. There were two places, right? Next to each other, Chile, India and Chile, Everest. Next to each other. Chile, India was actually a better place. Like, Chile, Everest was like, you know, like ladis and dhabas randomly placed like at some place.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize we thought we were going to Chile, India, but we ended up ordering at Chile Everest. And over there as well, as usual, I ordered the food. Tejas was doing something.
Okay, this time I actually had an excuse. I had like this Zoom call happening, which, by the way, don't get on a Zoom call when you're with your friend. That was unavoidable. But
He was doing professional things. Yes. But we ordered food. He was craving pav bhaji. And I ordered just disgusting, fat, oily noodles. Do you want to tell everyone, do you want to give everyone a review of the food that we consumed that day?
it was horrible. It was grease filled. It reminded me of one time. This is a bang story, especially since Joel is here. We have to tell it. The story about when he opened his laptop and it was filled with. He's laughing.
There's just so many stories. Honestly, this podcast will turn out to be like a 3-hour podcast if we go on talking about everything.
Literally, he had like.
Who are we talking about again? Sajul?
Yeah, the fried rice.
I thought you didn't say it. Okay.
In his laptop. He had fried rice in his bag and the oil spilled into his laptop and he couldn't open his laptop because it was stuck with the oil.
AC Indian house things.
Basically. That's how much oil there was in this noodles. Like, it was dripping. It was... It was really bad. It looked bad. And it just looked terrible. And then mine was... The bread was good. The pav was good. And then the sabzi was... It was bad.
The sabzi?
Didn't taste like sabzi.
It didn't taste like sabzi. And on top of it, it had like tiny insects in it. And there was hair in my noodles. So which was nice. Just added that extra flavor to the food.
Yeah. And I'm sure some people can relate with me. I don't like to return food. I don't like to be like, okay, I need my money back. But this is why I love Ayushi, because whenever we go out and eat food, we always have some problems with the food. But at least I have Ayushi because he's always there to fix the issue, get the money back.
Listen, for everyone, earlier, he's this nice, respectful, sophisticated, kind person.
You're making me sound like Gandhiji.
I mean, put round glasses on your face and wrap white clothes around you. You might just look like Gandhiji.
Puttar.
Hari Puttar, yes. But anywhere, he's one person. If he gets scammed and someone takes out, I don't know, $100,000 from his bank account, he'd be like, it's okay, that's fine. That guy probably made a mistake. I'll earn that money back somehow.
I wish I could say that was wrong, but that was so accurate. I would literally say those things because I don't like bartering, man. I don't like getting in those uncomfortable situations where, you have to tell someone that they did something wrong and I need something in return for that. But you should, all right? I guess for people, you should do that. You should be like Ayushi.
I mean, not be like... It's people who have spent a considerable amount of time in India, people who just live there. This is all just jugaad.
I love that word.
See, grown up in India, they're just very cheap.
I'd use the word thrifty.
See, this is what I mean. But they're very conjuice and you just need your money to go in the right place.
True. I mean, yeah, I kind of get that.
Also, I'm Gujarati. I'm not stereotyping my own people.
Patel.
That I can say I'm not. I'm not a Patel.
So, okay.
My name is not Patel.
I have to ask you, what do you feel when, like, when you tell someone you're Guju and they go like Kemcho Majama? But I feel very uneducated when I say that because that's literally all I know, and that's from a movie. Like, what do you feel when someone goes like, "Or you're Guju? Do you own a hotel?" I don't know. Like, what do you think about the stereotype?
I mean, okay. Stereotypes stem from a certain place of, I don't know. Some things are real. Like Kemcho Majama is annoying, but that's, I can't blame people, right? Like movies sort of, they portrayed every region in India like in a very stereotypical, unnecessary way.
More on Bollywood later.
But I, that some things like when they talk about like thepla and like kakra, I am that. I'm not thepla, but I am all about thepla and kakra. I mean, I still carry thepla. Every Gujarati carries like thepla when they travel. So that is true.
Ayushi brings so like this aromatic Guju food to campus whenever she comes here, and it's very yeah, it's really like I feel like eating it, and she always brings extra for people to eat, and then we finish it. She literally has like one meal a day, one massive filling meal.
Yeah, but like that's also like I bring that because like mama makes nice food. Even you bring like your lunchbox, your dabba to uni, because like some things are just overpriced at uni, man. Everything is overpriced. Imagine having like our campus's like Subway every day.
Oh, I've had Subway on campus once, and I had food poisoning.
The gastrointestinal
Yes,
issues
the
that it
issues
gives
that
you.
we both share. That was it. Once Subway. It's just Subway. Like, it's just bread and veggies.
It's not Subway. It's specifically the Subway on campus.
On campus, yeah. We've had some bad stories about the Subway on campus, but yeah. Well, yeah. We have gastro issues. Anyway, let's not talk. Let's not talk about that. So me and Ayushi are doing the same course at uni.
Yes, we are.
And today, like, I think both of us are just talking with like massive sighs of relief because we got our results back for one of our shared units that we were both really dreading.
We were actually okay. So we got our like final results for everything a couple of days ago. All Monash people know know that
It was trauma.
it was ish trauma.
Yeah, she's saying that because she knows that she aced all her subjects.
I didn't ace everything, but it was better than expected, and so did you. Like, shut up. Again, Tejas Srinivas, the humble, polite, respectful guy who.
Okay. Ayushi is that person who will be like, I didn't study, and yet, like, because she says that the culture is, or back in India, the culture was that, you can do everything at like the day before and get everything done.
But that's how people do it. Like every single person in India, it doesn't matter if it's in school, there's like very few people who actually like schedule their things and get things done on time and submit things on time. Because like, also I was just talking to Tejas earlier, like with submissions, right, in India, you can actually like bargain with the teachers when to submit things. Jugaad, see everything. Every single Indian, doesn't matter if you're here, outside. This is such a whitewashed conversation, like, but every single Indian is actually a very jugaadu person in general. But like, yeah, about grades and stuff, India, people just study like it's night of the exam and either you do well or you don't. Like, there is no studying beforehand. It's just that one night. Doesn't matter if you've been given like plenty of time, if you've gotten like 2 weeks.
Can't relate to this.
Yeah,
it's just, I get so distracted so easily, which means that I'm not that person that sits for like 5 hours and does all their work and then just chills. Because what happens is I do work for a bit and then I just get distracted and then suddenly it's been an hour of me doing nothing and then I go back to it and then eventually I get it done with like 15 delays. Breaks.
But like his 15 delays, I mean, I do want to incorporate this quality of his. He finishes things like 2 days before submission and he's like, oh my God, like this is such like last minute work that I'm doing.
When I don't realize that there's even more last minutes.
True, but like, can I just say, had it not been for him, like in a couple of units, I would have struggled because like all of everything, like he just.
This is the biggest cap I've ever heard. This is.
Seriously, even Sajol agrees.
What is he saying?
He's saying that, dude. Like it's true.
Oh my.
It's true.
Look. I'm not that. The reason, well, you know what? To be honest, I do like to get on top of things, but I'm nowhere near as smart or anyway.
Not intended.
Oh my God. Oh, nice.
For all the people who heard me
I
and
usually
what
as good
Tejas
at
said.
beat as well. Yeah, I'm not that smart. But anyway, we move on. We're
He's
somehow
very,
we're still here.
very, very smart.
No.
Guys,
So
his middle name is Smart. His first name is Smart. He is Smart Srinivas.
okay, back to the conversation. We all got our results a couple of days ago for most of our subjects, but there was one subject that we got an email, me and Ayushi got an email like a couple of days before saying that our grades are going to be withheld, and there was no further information. They just said there's going to be a little delay in your grades, and it's going to be withheld. So here I was thinking like I failed the unit. I was so scared.
Failing wasn't more than failing, right? What I actually thought was, are they like, because I knew what with meant, but I just wanted to like know what exactly, like, what are they trying to say?
Yeah, and why?
Why exactly? So I Google searched like withheld grade Monash, whatever. It said one of the possibilities is maybe there's like a pending investigation going on for academic misconduct.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know how it is.
Collusion.
Collusion happened. And I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, everyone knows. Everyone uses ChatGPT. Everyone knows about it.
ChatGPT.
I mean, I don't think there are many people who are like that confident to use it in exams, but it definitely happened during the semester. So I've used it. I'm just going to put it out there. I've used it.
Assignments, definitely. Even I've used. Like everyone uses
Everyone
ChatGPT.
uses it. But sometimes I get scared that maybe they found something.
If I used it for exams, nah.
That is literally the end of the world. But I was anxiously looking at my email for a couple of days after our grades for this unit got withheld, just to see, if if everything's gonna be okay.
But like literally, when I got that email, right? Like for 2 seconds, waqt badal gaya, jazbaat badal gaye. Everything just went downhill. The first, like, I have said this in my head so many times and like to my parents and stuff. What I actually felt the moment I received that email, I was like, I let my parents down.
Look, all of us have this. All of us have this. Not all of us, but a vast majority of us gravitate towards our parents when something like this happens. Like, whenever I've done badly on something, I immediately go like, oh my God, my parents, I've let them down really badly. And I just get so sad and upset, and then I just spiral. It's not fun.
But like, it's all about loving your family and your parents and respecting them.
What a nice message from a good person.
I didn't say it. Karan Johar did.
I hate Karan Johar.
Okay.
He's so unlikable. Everything about it is unlikable.
But we will get back to him.
No, we are going into him.
Oh, we're going.
No. We are,
Guys, again.
yeah, definitely not intended.
But the results.
Yes, the results. So we ended up doing better than expected.
Better than
To
expected.
anyone who
And
cares. Yay.
and like, literally, I'll tell you one thing. I don't think so. I told him. I literally just texted Tejas saying, So, did you get the email? That's literally what I wrote.
So business-like.
I was lying, right? And I texted him like, "Did you get the email?" And then he replies, "Oh, so you got it as well." And oh my god, I literally let out a sigh of relief that I'm not the only one. I was like, if we're going down.
We down together.
Exactly. And okay. The second thought that I got in my mind after he texted me, I was like, maybe it's just an investigation that they're doing. Because like we sort of sat together to like do a couple of assignments, and I thought that they would count it as collusion, and maybe they saw similarities in our work.
Yeah, it's the way that the university tells you things. It almost feels like you're a criminal sometimes. Like
Exactly.
the formal as language that they use. Yeah, I hate it. It's hard to deal with. But yeah, we survived. We're still alive.
We survived. We thrived. We haven't partied yet, but
Okay, so yeah, I don't think anyone cares about academics, but we have to talk about it because we were dead scared. Anyway, on to the next very sad topic for some people. At the time we're recording this, okay, I'll just give you some context. I wasn't really a big Bollywood person till very recently. Till really I met Ayushi, and she was really interested in Bollywood, and you know she because of her I ended up watching some films, which some I enjoyed, some I didn't.
thoda pyar, thoda magic.
That is just that should have won an Oscar.
Should have won an Oscar. The cinematic.
It's a cinematic masterpiece. Like, forget Oppenheimer and Barbie and all that stuff that's coming out. This is on top. Like, nothing can beat it. It shall never be beaten. It is magic.
It is magic.
Yes. Everyone just watch that. Preferably get really high and then watch it. That will be really worth it. That's a cinematic masterpiece of its own. But yeah, I got into Bollywood, sort of. I started listening to the songs, got more into the whole thing. And then, I talked to Ayushi about it, and basically she told me that, she was really into Aditya Roy Kapoor. That was her idol, all right? And you know what happens. Everyone has their someone. She had Aditya Roy Kapoor. And at the time we were recording this, obviously the pictures or the news of him and Ananya Panday is out.
Can I just
So let her go on a rant for a bit.
listen? Can I just like shed a tear? Can I just like bahafai asu and just like I feel like I became his vidwa. I'm not girls out there who are Aditya Roy Kapoor, who are like married to her in their heads. They know exactly what I'm trying to say, right? There were rumors going around, and you don't want to believe those rumors, but then when it's true, you're like, that was like the end of my life, honestly. Whatever I am after that day, after that Vumpla, Pinkvilla / Bollywood Hangama post that they put out, I'm a new person today.
Have been purified?
Not exactly, but now I'm just gonna go towards like living a sattvic life. What's your brother's name?
Yes, that is my brother's name. Well pointed out. She, obviously you guys can't see, but she has like this different glow today. I feel like it's because she's cried so much that her skin is just like
Glowing.
But really, is Ananya Pandey as bad as?
It's not about bad, but like someone like Aditya Roy Kapoor, the beauty, the person he is, he just deserves someone like okay, can I be honest? It would be heartbreaking to see him like date someone, because like internally every girl and maybe some guys out there want to date him or be with him or do things to him or want things done to them by him.
Hey.
But the only person that I would actually be like really happy if he ended up with is Shraddha Kapoor. Like, listen.
Also about Shraddha Kapoor, we are lucky enough to have quite a few lookalikes in our group of her. Some people don't quite agree. We'll talk about that later. We will get the Shraddha Kapoor clones in at some point in this podcast. But yeah, go on.
But like, they were pretty good together, and I miss seeing them in movies and stuff. And now I'm sounding like those sad posts that people are putting out because I've consumed a lot of Aditya Roy Kapoor content in the past couple of days. Though I do that on a daily basis, but the past couple of days have been tragic, and I'm still not able to revive myself, regain my senses, just do anything in general.
I feel for you, Ayushi. It's okay. You will be married to him in another lifetime.
Yes, just even if not married, just.
What are you thinking?
Listen, I'm a very like sweet little girl.
That's what I initially thought.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, honestly, yeah, you're a good.
I'm a good, you sweet, shuddha.
People who don't know this good thing are gonna think that we're all really creepy, which is in a way true, but
like it happened, but like all not so good things also have to come to an end. This might come to an end soon.
Would you, since Aditya Roy Kapoor is now taken, who is your next mega stan, mega crush?
Dulquer Salmaan.
We were talking about this before. Do you wanna talk about it?
I'm pretty sure that guy won't be listening to this.
Yeah.
Podcast, but if he ends up listening to it, well, I'm saying this for you.
I'm dedicating this to you.
I'm dedicating this to you. So I work at this place.
The famous, the one and only.
Coles!
Yeah.
Thank you for shopping at Coles.
Whoa, that was pretty accurate.
Yes, I've heard that a bajillion times now. But there was this who came in a couple of weeks ago, and he looked exactly like Dulquer Salmaan, talked like him, his voice was like him. And I remember I was in the self-checkouts, and I just go up to him, and I was like, do you know this actor called Dulquer Salmaan? It would have been creepy at that time. Like, now that I think of it, it would have been a little creepy. But he goes, oh, yeah, I know him. And I was like, oh, you look very much like him. And then, he was a little shy, and he's like, oh, thank you, whatever. Not a couple of weeks later, but like a week or so after that, I see him again at the store. And then he asked me if I was Malayali. Because he assumed I was Malayali. Because I knew Dulquer Salmaan, he's a Malayali actor. But he asked me if I was Malayali. He talked to me a bit, and, honestly, in my head, I was like, dude, just literally just cut the crap and tell me you're Dulquer Salmaan. You're not the guy you're telling me you are. He has a name, but we shall not mention that name. He shall not be named.
Yeah, Dulquer Salmaan, yeah, he's okay. I don't have much of an opinion on him, I guess.
I mean, his movies, actors, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there are better actors, but I'm talking about the person. Like, he's very charming.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah, Ayushi has moved on, I suppose, from the Aditya Roy Kapoor sadness.
Actually.
My mom would laugh at this because my mom and Ayushi have talked about this.
Listen, oh my God. To people who know Tejas' mom out there, she is amazing. Like, listen.
She's just another one of the girls.
She is. She literally is. And honestly, there's never like a boring day with her. Like you just always have. She just always has something to talk about, and it's not vague. It's I don't know. Does she like customize conversations according to the person she's talking to? Because she knows exactly what to talk about.
Yeah, because I like feed her information like a
okay.
CIA agent. So Ayushi is into Aditya Rai Kapoor. Sujal likes cricket. Sujal Shrey.
Beta Sujal.
Whatever. Like I feed her the information and then she just knows exactly what to say. But my mom thinks Aditya Rai Kapoor is like a drunkard just because he always drinks in all of his movies heavily. So she just has this opinion of him.
It's 2 movies. Okay. It was actually really, listen, I kind of died when Auntie said that. I died when she said that. But I get it why he sort of has this image. He created this image in people's minds because of Ashiki and Ye Jawani Hai Diwani. But like...
Besharam.
Besharam? Oh, him.
Yeah, not
okay.
Not you.
I thought you were talking about the movie Besharam.
Besharam. Okay, anyways.
Yes, Deepika Padukone in Besharam Rang was a treat.
I shouldn't comment. Go on.
Okay, we have different opinions.
Yeah.
So we'll just agree to disagree.
Just go back to what you were saying.
Okay. But like about this conversation I had with Aditya's mother.
You wish.
Yes, I wish I could like just set myself up with him by talking to his mother. But like this conversation I had with Tejas's mother, it was just hilarious. The way she's like, he's a good actor and all, but I don't know why in every single movie, why is he so drunk?
Yeah.
But I think even he's bad in every movie. He does. But like I think he was great in The Night Manager. I've only seen like a couple of episodes of the first season, but
I didn't get to watch that. And we were gonna watch Gumra.
I ended up watching it.
Oh, you did?
I did on Netflix. It's a remake. It's a remake of Thadam or something. That's what it's called, I think. Some South Indian movie. Yes, Bollywood remaking South Indian movies. Not a new thing. But I just watched it for the body.
That's what we do in 2023.
Exactly. For the body but wait, is this okay, that's body. Objectifying someone? Never mind. No. Sorry, delete everything I said. I just watched it for the scenic
view.
The scenic view.
Oh, yeah. Bollywood is a questionable topic. But it always brings about fun conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it. We're nearing towards the end of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you sound so disinterested, man. Oh, my God. If you want to leave. No.
Yeah, I've been dying to leave this place. I can't stand you anymore.
We expected a more coffee with Karan setting. And instead, we're in a university campus room.
I mean, this is pretty good. And I just told him earlier, like, you've literally, like, fulfilled my dream of being, like, on a talk show or, like, / podcast or whatever. Because I don't know why, like, I always, like, in my head just interview myself, question
Shower
my... answer my...
I do this all the time.
See? Is it a thing?
It's a thing. It's like something that people won't admit.
Yeah, I guess so.
I definitely interview myself.
But I will admit it unapologetically.
Yeah. But yeah, Ayushi is really great. You know, through her, I ended up like talking to her friends from India. And it's been really fun getting to know them as well. Like she's made me so much more of a social person. Like I became friends with people. And shout out again, the second episode in a row to Atman.
Hello.
He's
Tom.
Yes, he's the one who he helped me a little bit with starting off with this podcast. He told me what to do. I was very new to this, so shout out to him. And again, yeah, he's Ayushi's friend. So I've met lots of people virtually.
You've met, yes, virtually. You've met Mahika.
Yep.
You've also met
Jeet.
Jeet.
Yeah. I look forward to talking to him after the Barbie movie and
The
Oppenheimer
Barbie.
comes out.
Yes, he's excited about that.
Yeah. Shout out to them. Also, is there anyone else you want to shout out? Someone that's dying to be mentioned?
Of course, Aryan. Listen, Aryan's also like, yeah, he has talked about you a couple of times, and he talks in good faith about you.
Good faith.
In good
See, now
faith.
who's talking like some old ass person?
But yeah, I think you've had like a nice, interesting conversation with him on call, or like maybe you heard me and him talking. Remember when he was just blabbering in?
I don't. Maybe
This was like way back last year. Way back last year.
Yeah. Shout out to all of them. Also, Jeet's filming thing. Do you want to shout that out?
Yes.
What's it called?
Cinematic Misfits.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty good club that he started.
All the way in India.
Yes, all the way in India.
Gujarat.
Gujarat. So
Cinematic Misfits. They have an Instagram, right?
they do.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in filmmaking and films and you're a cinephile, is that what it's called?
Cinephile, yes.
Yeah. Not pedophile, cinephile. Please check that out. It's really great, and they have a lot of interest towards movies, so check that out. But yeah, we're at the end of this.
And also, people check out Tejas.
Wear glasses. Calm down. There's no way. I no. Please. No. This is not about to be. No. You're not doing this. This is not a Tinder.
Out there, just know Tejas is an amazing person. So if you want to contact him on
Sounds like a
1, 2, 3.
hotline, like an ad.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh. +61 if you're in a different country. Country code for Australia is +61.
Thanks for that unashamed dating. Anyways, yeah. This has been another episode of ABCD. Today we were lucky enough to have Ayushi Bhatt.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It took a lot of effort to get here since she is coming from a different country. So
Yes.
it was nice to film.
And for all those people who don't know how big Melbourne is, I don't actually live in a different country.
Yeah.
And travel from a different country. It's just that it's really far away. But I live in the same country.
Yes. But it was great to have you here.
Thank you.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we'll see you guys next episode. Woohoo.
Bye. Keep on watching, guys.